Hello everyone and welcome to another FPL video. FPL Carnage here. What we're going to do in today's video is talk about my FPL Game Week 25 team selection. I have a couple of transfers in mind now that the double Game Week 26 has been officially announced and we know the teams that are going to be doubling in that week. So in this video we're also going to take a look at some transfers I may or may not want to be making ahead of this week and in double Game Week 26, just trying to set up my team. We're also going to take a look at how my team fared in Game Week 24. Hello again. So let's look at my Game Week 24 team and how it fared. I scored a total of 72 points. That makes it 4 green arrows in a row. I'm really pleased. It looks like my wildcard team has been a success so far. Seeing the structure of my team, I haven't needed to take any point hits so far. So let's dive into my team. In goal, I had Sanchez, who scored 2 points. He picked up some save points in that 3-2 trailer. We saw Enzo pick up a really late winner to help Chelsea secure the 3 points in that game against West Ham over the weekend. Sanchez with just 2 points. I had the double Arsenal defense in Timber and Gabriel. Timber returning 5 points after picking up a yellow card in that game against Leeds. Gabriel picking up clean sheet points as well as DEFCON points in that game. He returned 8 points for me. And Mukiele, who is my third defender in that game against Burnley on Monday, he got an assist and kept clean sheet. Unfortunately, he was knocked off bonus points towards the dying minutes of the game, but he still managed to return 9 points for me in my defense. Moving on to my midfield, I had Declan Rice, who didn't manage to get any attacking return or DEFCON points, but he returned 3 points as my first midfielder. Enzo, like I said, getting 8 points for me in that game against West Ham after clinching the goal that helps Chelsea, get all 3 points in that game against West Ham. So 8 points from him. Semedo with 7 points after getting the second goal for City in that 2-2 draw against Tottenham over the weekend. And Bruno Fernandes with 2 assists to help Man United also get the 3 points in the 3-2 trailer against Fulham over the weekend. Now, up top, I had Erling Haaland, who was my captain. Unfortunately, he got only an assist in that game against Spurs. He could have honestly picked up a goal and an assist, missed a couple of opportunities in that game. So he returned just 5 points, 10 points as my captain. Bruno Fernandes was my vice captain. My second attacker, who was Thiago, with another blank in the game against Aston Villa, wasn't able to produce any attacking return in that game, so just the 2 points. And Bowen returning 8 points, which makes it back-to-back hauls for him in recent game weeks. He got the first goal and the opening goal in the fixture against Chelsea. Could have gotten a couple of assists as well, but his teammates failed to convert. So this is what my team looked like in Game Week 24. On my bench, I had Dubravka, who also returned a point, Wilson 2 points, Tarkowski 2 points, and Goodmanson with a -1 after the game against Arsenal. So honestly, really pleased with my team in Game Week 24. Like I said, 72 points, up to a 1.3 overall world ranking. So I'm really pleased with the way my team looks. And moving forward, I think I have really good structure for my team for upcoming game weeks. Also set up really nicely for the double Game Week 26. So let's take a look at what my team is shaping up to look like for the Game Week 25 team. Right, in Game Week 25, I'm going to be keeping Sanchez in goal. Like I said in my previous videos, this is the fixture run that I brought in the Chelsea defensive asset for. Now he has returned just 2 hauls since I brought him in, the 11 pointer and the 5 pointer, but Chelsea still has a decent percentage for expected clean sheets in their next 3 game weeks, in the next 3 fixtures. So I don't see why not. If you have Sanchez, if you have Chalobah, I would be starting them. So I am going to start Sanchez as my goalkeeper. Dubravka on my bench also has a really good fixture at home to West Ham. That's going to be a relegation battle at the bottom of the table, but I would prefer to go with Sanchez, who can offers different routes to points, saves, and occasionally he does pick up bonus points when the game ends with a clean sheet. So I'm going with him in goal. In my defense, I am doubling up on the Arsenal as usual. Timber and Gabriel at home to Sunderland. Now Sunderland have been really great at home this season. They have They are the only team that has maintained their unbeaten record at home this season, but so far away from home, they haven't been that terrific side. They have scored just 6 goals away from home all season, 2 of which came in their last 4 game weeks. So I do expect Arsenal to keep a clean sheet in this game as well. Honestly, if you're even looking at a really differential captain, I would honestly go Gabriel, right? At home, good for goals from corners, set pieces. He attacks them really well. He's also, very good for DEFCON points. And Arsenal has the best probability for clean sheets this week as well. So if you're looking at going for a differential captain pick, Gabriel could be your man, right? My third defender at the moment is Sarkowski away at Fulham. Also really good for DEFCON. I think he failed to pick up DEFCON points in his previous game week, but in the game against Fulham, we expect an end-to-end game. I think Tarkowski picks up some DEFCONs, possibly maybe even an attacking return, maybe an assist or a goal from set pieces. So he's going to be my third attacker. I do have one free transfer that I have not used. I'm also thinking of starting Goodmanson at home to Forest because it just looks like a game Leeds could possibly maybe come up with a clean sheet. Forest are also trying to stay afloat from the relegation zone, so it just may be an end-to-end game. I still see Leeds conceding in this game, so that's why I'm just not sure whether I want to risk starting him ahead of Tarkowski, who is better than him when it comes to DEFCON and getting the goal involvement. So Tarkowski is going to start for me. Moving on to my midfield, I'm going to be starting 5 midfielders in this game week. At the moment, that is what I am looking at. Wilson at home to Everton. We didn't see him get a goal or an assist in the game against Manchester United, but he was, one of their focal points leading up to their build-up plays and their attacks. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get any goal return, but this is a home game against Everton. Like I said, I think it will be an end-to-end game, and possibly he can pick up some points against Everton. Rice is my second midfielder at home to Sunderland. He has had one of the highest XGs so far amongst midfielders in the game, and just been very, very unlucky. He's nailed on minutes. He has a share of set pieces as well. I think his haul is due, and it may just come against Sunderland, right? So he's going to be starting for me as my second midfielder. Enzo Fernandez, been really, really good since I brought him in. He has returned 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 6 starts for Chelsea. Honestly, I back him. He was complimented greatly by his manager in one of his press conferences, so it looks like he may be nailed on minutes in the Chelsea starting lineup as well. So he's going to start for me as my third midfielder. My fourth midfielder is Semenyo away at Liverpool. Since coming in for City, he has been on really, really great form. Got a goal in their last, I think he has scored about 4 goals or 5 goals, but has about 5 to 6 GA in their last 7 games, 8 games for City. So he looks like another route to goals for City in their attack, right? And with Doku probably still out injured, I think he keeps his place, right? He plays 80-90 minutes for most of City's games, so it's going to be a game City will try to look for a win, right, to try to stay in the title race, and Semenyo offers that route to go, so he's going to be starting for me. And Bruno Fernandes is my 5th midfielder and my captain going into game week 25 at home to Tottenham. He has returned 8 points at home since Amorim left. Every time he has played at Old Trafford, playing in that number 10 role, he has returned 8+ points so far. He has a decent record against Tottenham as well, so I back him to get another haul, possibly in this game against Tottenham. Tottenham still plagued with a lot of injuries to some of their first team players, so I think this may be another good game and an easy win maybe for Manchester United. So my captain armband is currently on him. Up top, I'm going with Bowen away at Burnley. Like I said, it's a relegation battle game. I think West Ham will try to win this game to edge themselves closer to leaving the relegation zone. Bowen nailed on 90 minutes with Paqueta out of the team. We have seen him pick up penalty shares and also some corners and free kicks, so he just offers multiple routes. He's also good for DEFCON in some games, so I don't mind having him. He's even also a really decent route if you want to go for another differential captain, right? I think you could go for Bowen if you have him or you're thinking of bringing him in. And Haaland is my second attacker going into this game. Honestly, it's a touch and go for me at the moment between starting Haaland or Thiago, because I have Thiago on my bench away at Newcastle, and Newcastle haven't really looked the best side defensively. I think Thiago could possibly get an attacking return even against Newcastle compared to Haaland against Liverpool. Haaland has been on a really, really long goal scoring drought. and I don't see him coming away with a massive haul against Liverpool. So it's just touch and go for who I actually decide to start. But I think his expected ownership just makes me worry about keeping him on the bench, right? If I know he's going to start, I will just prefer to start him and see what comes out of it, right? My vice captain at the moment is Enzo Fernandez. On my bench, like I said, I have Thiago away at Newcastle, Mukiele away at Arsenal, and Goodmanson at home to Nottingham Forest. Now, the way my team looks, I don't really see the need for a transfer at the moment. I would like to go for Munoz or Ismail Assar, but I just don't think it's a hurry. They're playing Brighton away from home. I don't really see it as a necessity to dive in for any of the Palace assets right now. But I do fancy a couple of their fixtures after game week 25. They play Burnley and Wolves at home in 26 and 27. Then they go away to Manchester United and Tottenham in 28 and 29. Then at home to Leeds again in game week 30. So the likes of Ismail Assar could be one to look at. Brennan Johnson as well. Munoz back in the Crystal Palace side after the long spell injury. So I think Crystal Palace could be one of those sides that you tend to just look at. I think even after the blanking game with 31, they do have Newcastle and West Ham at home. So I don't really mind having, the likes of Sarr, who may be on penalty share. They also just brought in Strand Larsen and Mateta, so that's one to also look out for. But I do really like the option of going for Munoz for those fixture runs, right? So, but at the moment, I don't really see any urgent need for a transfer in my team at the moment. I'm honestly just really more confused at who to start and who to bench at the moment. If you have any opinions, please leave them in the comment section for me, because I do not want to bench Wilson. This just looks like a game that has points written all over it for him. And then Thiago has gone about 3 games with a blank. He is still nailed on minutes. He has penalty shares, which Wilson does not have. So it's just really, I don't really know what to make out of it, right? It's really where my dilemma is right now. I could also, I've been thinking about the Gabriel captaincy as well, because it just looks so good to ignore. But I think Bruno Fernandes just offers more safety and more routes, to potential attacking returns than Gabriel does. We could see Sunderland just wipe the Arsenal clean sheet at any time. So, yeah, I'm just really looking at the possibility of who has the best, routes to attacking returns, Wilson and Thiago. But as I've said, this is what my team is looking like at the moment going into game week 25. I am on a 3-5-2 formation with Bruno as my captain and Enzo as my vice. I may shift my vice captain to Erling Haaland before the deadline, but my captain is going to remain on Bruno Fernandes going into the deadline. So if you do have any questions or you have any opinions, suggestions that would help make some of these decisions easier, please leave them in the comment section. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. And always, if you enjoyed this video and you're new around here, please leave a like, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys in the next FPL video.